will be collaborating with the ANU Foundation. And our goal is to utilize and highlight our agricultural platform to intrigue urban youth. And I wish we had more here, but maybe in the future we will. College students and engage them in a series of activities designed to educate and motivate them to pursue careers in agriculture. Some of the topics include, but are not limited to, agricultural business, direct retail, sustainable community development, trade skills and career development, and investment opportunities. We have also brought along some of our students who are going to be what I consider our superstars in the future. I don't need to tell you this because I think you've heard it, but I think we must all try and remember that by 2050, we're going to have 9 to 10 billion people in the world. And right now, we cannot, even with the land resources that we have, because most of the arable land is already in use, we cannot feed that many people. So we're going to have to go to different type of systems. We're going to have other breakthroughs. One of the things that I would let you know is that in terms of food and agriculture, my hero is George Washington Carver. And I was fortunate enough to go to Tuskegee. That's where I got my bachelor's from. And to be present, to be able to see the Carver Museum, and see all the fantastic things that he did. Right? But, and realize, for us to realize that he was doing things where the science wasn't even around at the time. But yet, you know, make something like 300 products from the peanut, 100 from sweet potato, and so forth and so on. You know, it made a whole lot of things. But not only that, George Washington Carver was a great artist, you know, great musician, all of those things, right? And within us, we have some DJs here today, and so music and science go together, right? So don't forget that, because I play the bongos, you know, so I got a little bit of music in me. But it's that creativity, right? And it's creative to be in the arts, but science, there's something called the art of scientific research. Scientific research doesn't go the way we think it goes. We hear about the discoveries, but we don't understand what goes into those discoveries. Those discoveries, many times, there is an art involved that led to the discovery. Either the person thought of the wrong hypothesis and then came up with the right one later, right? So I just want you to realize that agriculture is the future, you know, and in a lot of ways. One of the things we have to think about is, you ever heard the saying that a hungry man is an angry man? Well, to keep peace in the world, you've got to be able to feed people. That 9 billion people that we're going to have, you know, most of that is going to be in Africa and Asia, right? A lot of that going to be in Nigeria. These are areas that we have faculty that come from those areas, you know, and in terms of ethnic or race, you know, many of the communities that are lacking in food here in the United States as well as abroad, you know, can relate to food deserts, which we do have. Okay? So what we need young people. We need what we call beginning farmers and ranchers, because, if you eat, you're involved in agriculture, but you got to eat. I always start off when I talk to students and say, what was the first thing you did this morning after you wash your face, brush your teeth, and put on your clothes, right? You head to that table, didn't you, right? So food is very important. But here is another thing about food. Food and health is very important. Medicine. What doctors are realizing today is that you could cure a lot of illnesses rather than doctors being trained to give you pills and chemicals. They're looking now at food, better food. We can talk about a whole lot of food. Sorrel that could, save you, help you in your blood pressure. Right here with our very grapes, we can use, they're full of nutraceuticals for cancer, high blood pressure, moringa plant, all of these, right? And I often tell students that the plant, I want you to realize this, right? This plant here, this is the greatest organic chemistry factory in the world, right? Think about it. Think about where we get marijuana from, right? We didn't devise it. It came from a plant, right? Where we get cocaine from, where we get aspirin from, and a lot of chemicals and drugs the plant actually made. But what's so important about that is that the plant make it at what we call ambient temperatures, right? The temperature of this room, the temperature of outside, maybe 25 degrees C. But, for us as human beings, we have to develop factories and go to very high temperature, thousands of degrees of pressure to make those same chemicals, right? So the answer is really in the plants, right? The answer, nature has the answer. We just need to understand it better and use our God-given intelligence, to use it better to our benefit, okay? So, my wife used to tell me I preach too much, right? And, since I've gotten older, what has happened is that, and since I got bald-headed, I found, you wouldn't believe this, but when I was around 19, 20, even up to maybe 30, I had an afro. You can't conceive of that right now, right? So, but what's been happening to me lately, actually, I go on the plane and people say, "Hi, Rev." I guess with my bald head, I look like a reverend, right? But I have my suit on, So, but anyway, the point is this. We are here to work with the community, right? We have food deserts here, right in Tallahassee, right? And we have food deserts all throughout Florida. And we are here to address those issues of the food desert. And at the same time, one of the ways in which we're going to do it is to train our students. So without further ado, I'm going to let some of our superstar students come up and talk to you, about, and give you some idea about, agriculture and what we're doing here today. I'm going to start off with Ryan Carnegie, and he can introduce the other student.